Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 34 of our student athlete interview series. My name is Ari, and I'm one of the interns at Sports Finder this summer. The student athlete interview series shows the life of college athletes at all levels in sports. Our guest today, Luke St. Denis, is a senior forward from Wayne, New Jersey, who now plays for the College of Mount St. Vincent soccer team. Let me add Luke. Hey, what's up, Luke? Thanks for
What's up,
coming
Ari?
on.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
So do you just want to start off by sharing with everyone what made you start playing soccer and like how old you were when this happened?
Yeah, so around when I was around like 4 or 5, me and my dad we went to go watch his best friend go play a soccer game, and I forget where it was, but we went to the game and I just automatically wanted to play soccer, like just looking at it. And the funny part of the story is the guy ended up getting I think a red card like 5 minutes in, so he came over and he was just talking to me about the sport, and just from there that's how it went. I just automatically fell in love with the sport.
Did you have any role models or favorite players growing up?
It's always been Cristiano Ronaldo, and it's kind of like funny that I say that because I'm not the quickest, like with step overs and skill moves. But you know, to me, his work ethic has been impeccable, and that's something that I always try to follow and lead by example.
So you've obviously been playing for a while. So when did you know that playing in college was an option for you?
So around like U11, I went from travel to club, and I gained a lot of insight about like colleges and going to ID clinics and trying to get myself noticed. So it was pretty much that transition from travel to club that I was able to gain a lot of knowledge about how to play and get contacted with coaches and everything, go to ID clinics. And that's just how I started.
Um, you want to take us through your recruiting process with Mount St. Vincent?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a shaky one, but so I started to get recruited by then my junior year of high school. And by the time I want to say in January, my senior year, I decided to commit. And that coach that ended up recruiting me left around in February. So I had the choice to either go with him to the other college or stay at the Mount. And I ended up making the choice to stay at the College of Mount St. Vincent. And, it's been a rocky few years with our record, but definitely this year I'm looking forward to it. And I think it's going to be a very big turnaround.
So what ultimately made you decide to stick with Mount St. Vincent?
It just had the perfect balance of everything between, the soccer side of things and academics, where I could, be close to the city to get internships to the academic side and also be part of a really special soccer program.
Um, so I remember talking to you like when you were going through your recruiting process. You told me that you were in talks with like D3 schools, D1 schools, D3 schools going to D1 eventually. So what was it like kind of sorting out schools with like throughout the different divisions?
Yeah, so like when I was really young, I was really fixated on Division 1, and then as I got older, I kind of like put out the pros and cons of everything of Division 3 and what it had to give. I wanted to have a backup plan in case things didn't work out the best way. And when I looked at the College of Mount St. Vincent, pretty much all the offers and schools that I applied to just went off the table right off the start, and I knew that was the place I wanted to go. It was just from the campus to the, like I said, the academic side of everything, inheriting a really good soccer program, and yeah, it was just I honestly fell in love with the school right off the start.
So for you, what would you say was the biggest change going from high school to college in terms of athletics?
I would say definitely the speed of play. When you go from high school to college, it's a huge jump. You're not playing against 18-year-olds. It's another 4-year difference. You're playing against 22, 21-year-old guys, and you got to be ready to go. So I definitely would say the speed of play, and you got to adapt quickly, especially if you want to play, as a younger guy on the field.
Uh, so obviously, it's student athlete, student comes first. So what was it like balancing academics and sports, especially in season?
It wasn't too hard, like as if my best like advice would just be time management. I feel like if you get that under your rope and work with the professors, there are some times where you miss games. I mean, I have to miss class 4 games, and they're pretty much lenient. So just putting your needs before your wants is really key, and having good time management.
So you're going to your senior year. That carries a lot of responsibility. Some of those could be taking a leadership role on your team. So do you have any strategies or ways you plan on being a leader for your team this year?
Just getting the chemistry with the guys is the most important part. I know we have a lot of really big recruiting class coming in, and it's just going to be a matter of gelling as quickly as possible. We have a very good group returning, and I'm really excited about that. So I'm ready to lead. I'm ready to spread the positivity around the group, and I'm ready to go. And I hope they are too when we get back in August.
Would you consider yourself more of like a vocal leader or a leader by example?
I try to do both. I mean, I don't outweigh one more than the other. I think they're both important coming from a leader.
So last year, obviously the pandemic hit and like we got sent home from school. Your season was cut short, and this year you had kind of an abbreviated season. So what was it like having like a different season than planned with the pandemic?
It was very different. We were one of the schools that decided to go back, and we didn't have anybody really to play against, so we just had strictly practices, no games. And it was the same thing for the spring. Just I want to say about a 6-week practice, and that was it. Um, it's going to be very different when we get back because it's been almost a year for some guys that haven't even played a full-sided game. So it's just going to be adapting quickly, and like I said, that chemistry with the incoming class and the guys has got to be great.
So last summer you were on a semi-pro team. So what was that experience like, and how did that competition vary between college and that league?
It definitely helped me with college. The speed of play, like I said, is one of the biggest things. And I was thankful that there's like a ladder system, like from U20 to U23 to reserves to the first team. I was thankful to go around that whole entire ladder and get to know different guys, different styles of play, different coaches, and it really elevated my game. And I'm still doing the same thing this summer with the same club, even at a higher tier because they got promoted. So I'm really excited to go back to college my senior year. Hopefully, even get the opportunity to do a fifth year, and just go from there.
So Luke, I only have a couple more questions for you. And before I ask those, if anyone in the live stream right now has any questions, feel free to drop that in the comment section, and Luke will get to those questions. My next one is, you just said you think about taking a fifth year, but beyond that, do you have any post-graduation plans?
It's a tough question right now with the whole pandemic and everything, what you're allowed to really do. Um, I'd say from an academic standpoint, being close to the city really is a valuable asset to have, get a job and get internships. But on the soccer side as well, I don't want it to also be, the last time I ever touched a soccer ball. So I might give myself a little bit of time to also try to pursue that as well. And if I can do that, that would be awesome. If, it's a game of networking and who knows who and connections. So I'm trying to build that a little bit and just go from there.
What would you say is your greatest accomplishment as an athlete?
Probably with that club team that I said I joined from U11 to U18. We went from being just a regular average team to, being top 50 in the whole country and sixth in the state of New Jersey. And we were able to, go to nationals and go all the way to the finals in Indiana. So I'd say that was our greatest accomplishment as a team.
Also in high school, your coach played professionally overseas and played at a division school. So what was that like, kind of learning from him and kind of preparing you for college?
He was definitely a very big role model of mine as well. He taught me a lot. He gave me a lot of, not just soccer knowledge, but a lot of, how to grow up as well. It's funny you asked me that question. I actually just played for him a couple of days ago. He's coaching the club that I'm actually currently playing for. And it's funny how small of a world it is because, I haven't seen him in 3 years. And just like you said, he's been a role model of mine, and I get to play for him again.
And my last for you is, what advice would you have for any student athlete, just like kind of going into their freshman year? And
I would say, value your time management because it's going to creep up on you. And, just to enjoy it. You got 4 years. And like I said, nobody wants it to be the last time they play, their sport that they love. And I would say just enjoy it as much as possible.
You still there, Luke?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah.